The Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen, grab your seat, let's have a blast. At the Entrepreneurial Journey podcast.
If you love the entrepreneurial journey, how about subscribing and giving us a 5-star review? Wherever you get your podcasts, follow or subscribe and give us a positive review so more entrepreneurs out there don't need to feel alone. Thanks. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey podcast. I'm with you today from my new podcast chair, which I have to say is very comfortable, much more comfortable than being in my office at my desk. And today, let me welcome John and Mark Cronin of John's Crazy Socks, the best named company on the planet, to be honest. Hello, John. Hello, Mark. How are you both today?
Thank you, Rebecca. I really thank you on your show.
Thanks, Rebecca. We're excited to be here. I'm glad you like the name because John was insistent that it be John's Crazy Socks.
Yeah.
He didn't like the idea of Mark's Merry Socks or Mark's Serious Socks.
Yeah, I like that.
It's all John.
Yes.
So, John, you're the mastermind behind the business. And how did it all begin?
Well, you'd have to go back to the fall of 2016 to a small log cabin in the woods.
Okay. Is this a ghost story?
No. It happened on suburban Long Island outside of New York City. And where were you, pal?
I was at a Huntington High School. I could be my lesson school.
Now, John is an entrepreneur. You're a public speaker, a philanthropist, an athlete, a dancer, many things. But John also happens to have Down syndrome. So he was in his last year of school trying to figure out, like everybody else, what comes next.
Yeah, sure.
And what were you looking at?
I looked at job, program, and school. I can't find programs that I don't like.
Couldn't see anything he liked.
I know that feeling.
And, well, this is particularly problematic for people with different abilities.
Yeah, sure.
In the States, fewer than 1 in 5 people with a disability are employed.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's not good.
But John here is a natural entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
You didn't see a job you wanted. What did you say?
I want to create one. I want to make one.
Yeah.
I told my dad I want to go business with him, and now he's trying to step in together.
Which is very cool.
Yeah, that
my
is
youngest son coming and saying, Dad, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Because I've got 3 sons, and this is one I can work with. So, okay, you've got an audience full of entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs always have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, they do.
John had a lot of ideas.
I do.
Not always good ideas. What was one of your ideas for a business?
One of them is a food truck. I saw a great movie called Chef. One actor, Sean Farrell. It's a neat movie about a father and son buying a food truck.
So a food truck. That sounded like fun. And we're thinking, what could we make? Where would we put it? I wasn't quite sure I wanted to be in a food truck all day.
No.
But we ran into a problem.
Oh, we can't cook.
Yeah, we can't. But then, right before the U.S. Thanksgiving in November, John had his eureka moment.
Uh-huh. I did. I want to sell crazy socks. Why socks? It's fun. It's colorful. It's creative. It always let me be me. I want crazy socks my whole life. My dad and I travel around looking for those socks.
We drive around looking for these socks. So we figured this. If John loved them that much, surely other people would too, and we could find those people. So again, I'm talking to the entrepreneurs in your audience, particularly those who are just starting off. The typical thing to do at that point is to stop everything and prepare your business plan.
Sure.
Do your market research, competitive analysis, operational plan, financial forecast. That's not what we did.
No.
We went the lean startup route.
Right.
We said, let's get something up and running. We'll test the idea and our customers will let us know.
Yeah.
So, John, you already had the name.
I got a name, I told a website, I got an idea.
We built a simple website on the Shopify platform. We cajoled some suppliers into giving us some socks. That was kind of interesting because people were telling us, we're not going to sell you anything until you show us you have customers. Well, how can I get customers if you won't sell me it?
Yeah, you can't.
And the only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page. And I would take out my cell phone and we made videos. And who do you think was in those videos?
I talk about socks, more socks.
And we noticed something. People started sharing those videos. So what day did we open?
We opened December 9th, 2016.
It was a Friday. We didn't know what to expect. And that first day, we got what felt like a flood of orders. We got 42 orders.
That's incredible on your first day.
And most of them were local, which made sense.
Yeah.
He was in Huntington High School. It's where we lived. So how did we deliver those first orders?
Our home deliveries. We got red boxes. And
you got a box over there?
Yeah, cool. They do. The box of socks.
Nice
and
box.
I put a sock inside. I put a sticky note I wrote. I put in candy.
Oh, I love
John
that.
did a handwritten thank you note. We put candy. We got, and when we started, we got bags of Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah.
Poured them in, then loaded up the car, drove around, and John knocked on doors delivering the socks.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
And how the customers respond?
Our customer response, they love the socks. They want to take a picture with me, box of socks, and the customer, and share it on social media. With a threat.
We're driving around. I'm out in the car. I'm like, where is he? He's in the house.
I'm going to take a hot chocolate.
He's drinking hot chocolate with families. They're taking pictures. But we had people ordering again just to get John to come back to their door.
I'm not surprised.
And there was some funny things. I don't know what it's like in Edinburgh, but there were some nights, it's after 10 o'clock at night. And John's knocking on doors. Just, John, with your socks.
Don't shoot me.
Don't shoot.
Yeah. It's definitely not that like that in Edinburgh. But yeah.
So at the end of that month, really 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, we shipped 452 orders.
That's incredible.
And we knew we had something.
Yeah.
We didn't know how big it would grow. We didn't know how fast it would grow. But here we are, 7.5 years later.
That's incredible.
We're still doing it, right?
I am.
How many socks do we have now?
We have 4,000 different kinds of socks, which means I own the world's largest stock store.
We're not out selling Walmart and Target, or at least not yet.
No.
But we have more choice. We've shipped over 450,000 orders to 88 different countries. We've been able to create 34 jobs. 22 of those are held by people with a different ability. Wow. We've raised over $750,000 US for our charity partners.
That's incredible.
And as you like to say,
just getting started.
Just getting started. And here's the cool thing, Rebecca. With all that, if we get an order between our office and our home,
I still do home delivery.
John's still knocking on doors doing home delivery.
I love that. That's fantastic. I mean, what an incredible success story. And as we mentioned before we came on air, it's about living those values, breathing those values, and it's about that customer experience. So tell me, because you said something really interesting before we came on air, that if you're not prepared to, what did you say, give up or lose money or give up on?
Your values, you have to be willing to spend money on your values. It's got to be one that costs money.
That's the one.
We'll come back and we talk about our mission. What's our mission?
Spreading happiness.
And we built the business on 5 pillars. But I'll give you an example.
Sure.
So we have a strategic partner. We're rearranging our relationship. But we at one point needed financial stability and manufacturing capability. And it came a time, every package to this day gets...
I get sticky note for me.
Thank you, note.
And a candy.
And you see the picture and the name of the person who picked your order on your packing slip, right? Because part of the experience, you're helping us employ people with different abilities. So we started with Hershey's Kisses. That only lasted a couple of months, right? Remember what happened?
Oh, yeah. We got a long email, a woman at down south. You can't put on chocolate down south.
You may not want to send chocolate through the mail during the hot weather to Florida.
That's a very good point.
We moved on, and for a long time, we included packages of Skittles. Okay. Eventually, we met with the right executive at the Mars Corporation. I wanted them to be the official candy of John's Crazy Socks. We could do cross-promotion. After that conversation, he came back and said, well, we do something with NASCAR and the NFL. We'll take a pass. So our Lord of the Socks at the time, Andrew, who at that time was running our warehouse, he identified, call them lollipops, some people call them suckers. And we were spending 26 cents a package for the Skittles. Well, the lollipops were 4.5 cents each.
Okay.
Great. So still going to make people happy. Still a nice thing. And we said, we'll put 2 lollipops in each one for you, the customer, one to give to a friend. Right. And our partners said, no. Why would we spend that extra money? We only want to put 1 lollipop in. And if people have a problem, they'll let us know.
Yeah.
They're good people, but that was crystallizing. They didn't really understand what we were about.
Yeah.
And yes, if we're about customer experience and generosity and spreading happiness, you spend the extra money.
You do.
It's, but that's, you have to, you got to know who you are.
You really do.
Know what works for you.
Yeah. The spreadsheet will tell you one thing, and the spreadsheet will tell you only to send 1 lollipop, but your heart tells you to send 2. And actually, with the values that you've described of spreading happiness and generosity and embracing difference, then you send 2. That it's just a no-brainer. It's just like, it's obvious that you send 2 lollipops, and anybody who thinks differently, you're right, isn't aligned to what you're about as a business.
And I'll share, speaking again to the entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're about. Call it your mission, call it your why, and you got to know your values.
You do.
And that's going to be really important when you get knocked down.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get knocked down.
Yeah.
So, we roll into 2020, and you may have heard there was a pandemic.
Just a tiny, teeny one.
Now, this was terrible for our business.
Yeah.
And what do? Well, you get knocked ass over heels. but you still got to remember it. And that mission for us of spreading happiness, that's the North Star.
Yeah.
So we still can see where we're going. And the values help you stay on track. So what do? Well, the first thing, we have to take care of our people. Right? Our fifth value is make this a great place to work. Many of our colleagues were vulnerable. We had to make sure we took care of them.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you do is, well, how do we adapt? What else? How do you figure this out? Okay, so we give tours of our place. We've had more than 2,000 people come through. And it's very important for special education students and clients to see other people like themselves working or owning a business, because it gives them hope and encouragement. So you move those online. We do a lot of speaking engagements. You move those online. So now we're spoken around the world.
Wow.
We make socks. What could we do? Well, we made healthcare superhero socks.
Oh, wow.
To thank the frontline workers. And those raised over $50,000 US for the American Nurses Association and their COVID fund.
Great.
Then you got to ask, well, what new opportunities are there? Well, there are new products, right? We made masks with our themes and images. But how do you spread happiness? So we did, when everybody's locked down and isolated. So we started two things. One, we started doing a Facebook Live show, the Spreading Happiness show. Just to reach people, give people a half hour to smile. Yeah. It's 4 years later, we're still doing that. At the height of the pandemic, we'd get 40,000 people watching it.
Wow.
I don't know what they're doing with their lives listening to the two of us. But the other thing, what did you start? You do every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday, I start an online dance party. Every Tuesday, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern time. I hear the United States.
Right. So, an online dance party, because what better way to spread happiness than get people dancing?
I love it. I love it.
And that's true to our mission. And it's keeping us in touch with people and building those relationships. So, because if all we were doing was selling socks, we would be sunk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've gone out and counted.
Yeah.
It turns out there are exactly 1 gazillion sock companies out there. And if all we do is sell socks, what do you say? Ours are better than yours.
And not smell like yours.
Yours, right? But our socks become the physical manifestation for the story and the mission.
Yeah, they do.
And that separates us from every other company.
Yeah.
We're not really competing with them.
And you know, when people put your socks on, they will feel happy. They'll remember the handwritten note. They'll remember the lollipop that you sent through. They'll remember the dancing. And, you know, I just think that's great. So your socks become an anchor for happiness.
Yes,
and then
and we hear that all the time from customers. I just put on these socks and they make me feel happy. They make me feel good.
That makes my heart sing. I think that's amazing through the medium of socks. So I can already hear how the customer experience is so different to many other just clothing, you know, online clothing businesses.
Well, and you're never there. You're always evolving and figuring things out.
Exactly.
But your values and what you believe in becomes manifest in everything you do.
They do.
So it's how we answer the phone. If you dial here, you never get voice jail. You're going to talk to an actual human.
Oh.
You're going to have a human conversation. We don't have scripts. We don't listen in on the phone calls. It's down to the color of the walls or the way we greet people for tours and for the work groups we have in. Here's an example. So We told you we put candy in every package. One day, one of our happiness packers, because we do our own fulfillment, says, we sell socks for diabetics, and yet we're sending them candy. What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
So now we have a supply of sugar-free candy. We have a different package if we get an order from a military base. It's a thank you package we send. You're an entrepreneur out there, you got to know the value of your email list. Right? You own that. That's an incredibly important asset. And we could talk about segmenting your email and what we do with email. Well, we segment our fulfillment. Every package has the same ingredients: the thank you note, the story of John's crazy socks, the candy, the picture. But we have a different package if it's your first order. If it's your second order, you get yet a different package.
Okay.
If it's your third or fourth order, yet a different package. If it's your fifth order and on, yet a different package. It's just paying attention. How can we connect with our customers? How do you make that human connection?
And who comes up with all these ideas?
Everybody.
Good.
It's important that everybody be on board. We talk about our mission of spreading happiness all the time. It's not idle words on the wall.
No.
It is what drives our decision making. We talk about our values. That comes back to it. And so it becomes, that's what attracts people to work here.
I bet it does.
And they believe. And we'll call each other out on it.
Yeah. You have to, don't you?
And that's part of our role. We, if you were to draw an org chart, we sit in two places on the org chart. One, you could say, is at the top. It's our job to set the vision and the direction. But we're also at the bottom. We work for everybody else.
Yeah.
Our job is to put them in a position to succeed.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's pretty common around here to raise the question, what would John do? Because John exemplifies what we're about.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Where are you taking the business? Where is it heading?
Onward. So, 3 main channels.
Okay.
To start. We sell direct to consumers through our website. So that's still the largest part of our business. The fastest growing part of our business are our B2B services.
Okay.
Custom socks, gift orders. We've just introduced 3 service components. An assembly and kitting service. So you're running a conference and you want to put together 1,000 bags with information in it. We can assemble those for you. You want to put together swag bags for a gala event or a golf event. A lot of golf up in Edinburgh, I'm sure. We can assemble that for you. A welcome series package that have different flavors depending on your organization.
Right.
We already do this for quite a number of businesses. It's a welcome package for their new customers. So,
Wow.
For example, we work with an HVAC company. Every time they sign up a new customer, they send us the contact information and we send them a welcome package.
Brilliant.
We're doing that for the local Chamber of Commerce. Every time they get a new member, we send a package.
Great.
We work with some employers when they get a new employee. It's a package and it's got swag in it and information to help with the onboarding process.
Great.
And we're offering our fulfillment services. So
I love
B2B. And then the third area that we're starting to grow in is wholesale of other retailers carrying them. But we also have complementary businesses, if you will. We do a lot of speaking engagements.
Yes.
We offer coaching services for people that want to start a business, particularly a lot of families that come to us and say, we want to do something similar.
Yeah.
We are in the process of setting up a publishing house. And creating content. So right now, John is working on 2 books. A picture book of I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never holds me back. Explaining what Down syndrome is and showing what people with Down syndrome achieve. And, well, you know those Facebook Live shows, and we've created our own podcast out of that. We tell jokes in every one of those, right?
Yes.
You like telling those jokes?
I do. I tell those jokes.
So John had the idea. He said, Dad, we should put a book together of all of our jokes.
Great.
So we're working on John's giant joke book. And I'm working on a project called Profiles in Achievement. 21 people with Down syndrome who've made an impact in the world. Wow. That's a series of profiles in a book form, but also podcast interviews to go with it. So that's part of our mission. It's outside, it's the content part of the sock business.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Did you know at TriCrest, we've built a kick-ass culture, coach and consultant program. So if you're a business coach or consultant and you're looking for something new, add to your toolbox, or even escape the 9-to-5, join us at our next event. Links in the information on the podcast. Yeah. Now I have an idea of why it's been so difficult to pin you down to a date and a time for the podcast, because I just don't think you ever sleep. There's a lot going on.
We do have a lot going on. But we're so fortunate to get to do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
right?
You
to
are.
Get to wake up and it creates an obligation.
Yeah.
I feel pressure to create more jobs and more opportunities.
Yeah.
We do a lot of advocacy work because people will listen to us because of the business.
Yeah.
So that creates not only an opportunity, but an obligation. So we've spoken twice at the United Nations. We've testified twice before the U.S. Congress. And we should add, we were not subpoenaed.
You were there for the right reasons.
We get that fun, right, Bobby?
Yeah, you do. I can see that. My brother and I work together, and we've started doing little special editions of the podcast. So we've just started our Nick and Becca Fireside Chats. And my brother Nick gets to ask a question of the podcast guest I'm interviewing. So his question, my brother's question to you two is, what's it like working together as father and son and father? What's the highs and the lows?
What's it like working together?
I love working with my dad. My dad always treated me, and my dad always treated me, and he gave me strength, and nothing. It's nothing. Was with my dad, and it's nothing. Without him.
Cool. Brilliant.
We do well working together, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, when you believe in something that's bigger than yourself, all the petty stuff falls away.
It's true.
And we know we both need each other.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this without John.
Oh.
But we could talk family, working with family.
Yeah.
My middle son, his brother, worked with us for a while, and he left, which was good, because if he kept working with us, you were going to find us both in a pool of blood on the floor.
Yeah.
with axes in our heads. Now, I should add, he's come back and is working with us. He's our current Lord of the Socks. And it's all going well. And my bride works with us, your mom, right?
Yeah.
What's her title?
A mama bear.
She's the mama bear.
Mama bear.
And, that's all. Let me tell you, it's so wonderful working with your wife.
I could not work with my husband. You're doing really well, Mark.
There are times, we'll be at home eating dinner, and I'll say, sweetheart, is it okay if I just vent about something at work today? And she said, sure. And I'll say, there's this woman at work. You're not going to believe what she did today. She's driving me nuts. And it's you.
Oh, okay. I've got 2 more questions. All right. So the first one is, if your business, John's Crazy Socks, it might be an easy one for you to answer, actually. If it had a personality or a character, either, how would you describe the personality? Or if it was a character, who would it be? And it could be anybody, alive or dead, real or fictional.
Well, do we have a character?
Yeah.
You're quite the character.
I think that's
fun, giving,
and I'm
curious.
Yep. Yeah, I do. And also, my dad do. My dad is very funny. And he's really, really optimistic.
Optimistic.
Optimistic. My dad is very funny.
If you're an entrepreneur out there, you have to be optimistic.
You do.
Yes,
but there is a line, I forget who said it now. The best thing about entrepreneurs is their optimism.
Uh-huh.
And the worst thing about entrepreneurs is their optimism.
Yes. Yeah.
But actually, I'll come back a moment about, working together. John here, you like rules.
Of course.
You like the color in the lines, and you like the rules.
Okay.
And then he has to put up with me.
Right.
Yeah, do I.
So we start our day here with, we call it a startup meeting. 10 minutes, just what's going on today, make sure everybody knows what everybody's doing. John runs those meetings. Right. Couple of things. Don't be late. Yeah. And stay on the agenda.
Okay.
So I'll start off on a story and he'll say, Dad, bring it back. Or he'll just start rolling his fingers like this.
I like that.
God, we created a monster.
I like that. I'm going to use that with my clients. That's great. Can I borrow that, please, John? I'm going to use that. Yeah, that's. I'll credit you with it. That's fantastic. Okay, my last question. So I present a theme to my brother for each of our Nick and Becca Fireside Chats, and he doesn't know what the theme is. It's always a surprise. What theme should I pick for our next one? I'm writing it down, by the way, so I remember.
I would say making a difference with your small business.
Ooh, okay. Thank you.
Each of us, no matter how small a business you have, we can have an impact larger than the dollars and cents.
Yeah.
If you're a small business and you employ 3 people, it's 3 families.
Yeah.
That's revenue that you're putting into the local community.
Yeah.
You have a voice that can be heard in how things happen and in the way you interact with your customers.
Yeah.
We all have those opportunities. And I love especially hearing from other entrepreneurs who are ambitious, again, for things greater than themselves.
Yeah.
Greater than we're just going to make money. And don't get me wrong. We want to make money. We like to live indoors.
We do.
You got to pay the rent. There are, John likes to eat lobster rolls.
I do.
Get lobster rolls in Edinburgh.
It's expensive taste there.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I don't know where we got the expensive taste.
No, that's expensive tastes.
So it's important to go, have the money to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But that can't be what really motivates you.
No, it can't. You're right. And our whole business, we're only a tiny business, but our whole business is about setting other people up as business coaches and consultants so that they make difference to their clients who then make differences in the community. And that's the whole driving force of our business, is to create the good cultures exactly as you've described, with we call it purpose, vision and values.
Yes.
So that they create, exactly as you've described, fantastic places to work. They give back to the community. And yeah.
How wonderful is that? How excited do you get when you see somebody you've worked with really taking flight?
Oh, I love it.
And you how do you, what do you say the keys to happiness, right? We're about spreading happiness. What do you say the keys?
It's gratitude and do for others.
Right? I can hear that's embedded with you. Right? Yeah. Gratitude. Let's appreciate what we have, the opportunities we have, and do for others. The more we can do for others, the better off we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what lifts us.
Totally.
And it turns out that's good business.
It does. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You two, John and Mark, I could talk to you all day. We share such similar philosophies. It's wonderful. I'm so glad your business is really successful. I will be getting in touch because we're putting a welcome pack together for our new coaches. And I will be getting in touch about socks. Because I suspect we'll be including some John's crazy socks in our welcome
we'd
pack.
love to make some. We can make custom socks for you.
Yeah,
beautiful. We should put in a plug. Where can people find us?
I'll go at John's Crazy Socks.com.
John'sCrazySocks.com.
Don't forget to ask that.
You're going to get great socks. We got over 30,000 5-star reviews. They're going to make you happy. We got something for everybody, more choice than anybody else. And when you buy from us, you help us employ people with different abilities. You help us give back. And most of all, you help us
spread happiness.
You are now my main port of call for Christmas presents and birthday presents. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
She mentions Christmas. It would be nice to spend a Christmas in Edinburgh.
Oh, can we do that?
Maybe. You know what we have to do to make that happen? Sell more socks.
Sell more socks. And on that,
The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's